Welcome to the deep dive. We take the info you send our way and really try to pull out the key insights for you.
And today we've got a really interesting piece you shared. It's all about MegaETH and the ecosystem that's starting to bubble up around it.
Yeah, this article digs into something pretty exciting. MegaETH itself, the numbers are kind of wild. Over 100,000 transactions per second.
It's genuinely impressive infrastructure. It really starts to push what people thought was possible, on chain.
But raw speed isn't the whole story, is it? It's about what you can build with that speed, and that seems to be where this MegaMafia program comes in.
Exactly. The article frames it as more than just like your standard incubator. It's actively trying to shape MegaETH's identity by backing really novel applications.
Applications that maybe couldn't exist elsewhere.
That seems to be the idea. They're trying to foster things that specifically need that kind of performance.
And things are moving fast, it seems. The first batch is apparently already live on testnet.
Yep, and they're taking applications for a second cohort already, so there's definite momentum.
Okay, so this is where I think we should focus our deep dive today. What are these first projects actually doing? The article hints at things only possible with those super fast block times, sub 10 milliseconds, and tiny transaction fees on testnet, like less than a cent.
Right. The potential is there, but what does it look like in practice? Let's get into these MegaMafia projects.
That's good. Let's maybe start with Cap Money. The article mentions a new model for stablecoins.
Yes, Cap Money. Their goal is building a stablecoin economy, but one that's really focused on yield and stability through a different kind of mechanism.
Okay, different how? It mentions a marketplace.
Yeah, think of it like this. You've got lenders who come in with stablecoins we know, like USDT or USDC. They deposit those and get CUSD back, which is redeemable one-to-one.
Simple enough so far.
Then you have these operators. Could be trading desks, other protocols, whatever. They basically pitch strategies for how they'll generate yield using that deposited capital.
Ah, okay. So the operators are competing for the capital. But who decides?
That's the key part. The minters, the people who deposited the original USDT, USDC, they actually choose which operators get their funds. So, some control there.
Interesting. And there's another layer mentioned? Restakers. Providing security.
Right. These are folks using things like EigenLayer or Symbiotic who've staked ETH. They can then choose to sort of back certain operators with their restaked ETH.
Back them how? Like insurance.
Kind of. If the operator does well, everyone shares the yield. But if the operator's strategy fails, the restakers are the ones on the hook for potential losses.
Ah, so the initial lenders, the ones putting in USDC, USDT, they're basically protected. SAFU, as the article puts it.
That's the idea. Risk is shifted to the restakers who are actively choosing which operators to trust.
What really jumps out about this model, it feels, quite decentralized in its decision-making.
Well, that's exactly it. The article calls it a Type 3 stablecoin. The whole point is there's no central DAO or team saying, okay, put the money here.
It's all driven by incentives. Operators pitching, minters choosing, restakers backing.
Precisely. Capital flows based on perceived opportunity and trust, bottom up. And that could potentially make it much more scalable than models needing central coordination. It's a really interesting experiment in incentive design for stability.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, let's shift gears. Noise. Trading narratives. That sounds pretty abstract.
Yeah, noise is definitely out there conceptually. The core idea is turning attention or mind share into something you can actually trade.
So, like, betting on how much people are talking about MegaETH or DeFi.
Essentially, yes. You can go long or short on these narratives. If a topic gets hotter, more buzz, more discussion, its value on noise goes up. If it cools off,
value drops. It sounds a bit like trading Google Trends data or something.
That's a good analogy. And the article mentions they use data partners like Kaito AI to actually capture, score, and then price this mind share in near real time.
But it's not just sentiment, right? Like positive or negative feeling.
No, they emphasize it's about the volume of attention, the mind share itself. So something could be trending heavily, lots of talk, but maybe the price of the related token is actually going down.
Ah, and those differences, those divergences could be trading opportunities.
Exactly. It shifts the focus away from, say, digging into specific smart contract risk for one asset and more towards understanding these broader flows of attention and hype.
Interesting. Financializing attention itself.
Okay.
What about GTE? Global Token Exchange. Big name, big ambition.
Yeah, GTE is aiming high. They want to be the, quote, fastest and most decentralized exchange, and their angle is this end-to-end approach.
End-to-end, meaning?
Covering the whole life cycle of a token, basically. The article breaks it down into 5 main parts.
Okay, let's hear them.
So first, there's Takeoff. That's a permissionless launchpad, mainly for bigger protocols. Then a standard AMM for basic liquidity.
Got it, like Uniswap style.
Right. Third, and this is key, an on-chain CLOB, a central limit order book trying to give that CEX-like, responsive trading feel.
On-chain order book, that's definitely leveraging MegaETH speed.
Has to be. Fourth, a price aggregator that finds the best price across all of MegaETH, not just on GTE. And finally, another launchpad, this one more for standard TGEs, token generation events.
Wow, okay. That's a lot. So the idea is one platform for everything. Launching, trading, different styles of trading.
Exactly. They seem to be trying to cater to everyone from retail folks just swapping tokens to institutions wanting that order book experience across different risk levels.
Trying to merge the best of both worlds, the CEX feel, but with DeFi's openness and self-custody.
That seems to be the pitch. A very ambitious one, but if they pull it off.
Yeah, could be significant. Okay, sticking with exchanges, but a different flavor. Valhalla. On-chain perps.
Right. Valhalla is tackling perpetual futures, and their big selling point is doing it fully on-chain without the usual compromises.
Compromises like off-chain components, slow updates.
Exactly. They're explicitly using MegaETH speed again, those super fast blocks for things like real-time trade execution, instant liquidations if needed, and live, constantly updating funding rates.
All on-chain. No off-chain matching engine or anything?
That's what the article stresses. It avoids those potential points of failure or complexity you get with hybrid models.
Okay, so speed is one thing. What else?
Composability, that's the other big focus. Because it's all on-chain on MegaETH, it can interact seamlessly with other DeFi protocols.
Like using yield-bearing assets as collateral.
Yep. Or listing new markets faster, or building really complex strategies. The article gives examples like atomically farming funding rates while holding a perp position.
Atomically, meaning in one transaction.
Yeah. Or using your open positions as collateral elsewhere on MegaETH, or pulling in Oracle prices directly from spot dekies like GTE, maybe.
So it's not just an isolated perps platform. It's meant to be part of the bigger DeFi picture on MegaETH.
That's the vision, yeah.
Yeah.
Making perps a native building block within the ecosystem.
Okay, moving on. World capital markets. Leveraged finance on-chain. This sounds potentially powerful, but also risky.
Definitely ambitious. They're essentially trying to build something like a TradFi prime brokerage, but fully on-chain.
Oh, what are the pieces?
They're integrating spot trading, perps, presumably, like Valhalla's or maybe their own in lending, all in one place. And critically, it's built around a CLOB, an order book, with cross-margining.
Cross-margining on-chain. So
Yeah.
my position in one asset can support my margin in another.
Exactly. All tracked on the blockchain. This setup allows for strategies like, the classic basis trade, shorting perps, longing spot, either right there on WCM, or maybe by combining WCM with other MegaETH apps.
Like your article really flags capital efficiency here. What's the innovation?
Well, traditional DeFi lending usually needs heavy over-collateralization, right? You put up $150 of ETH to borrow $100 of stables.
Right.
WCM aims to allow for under-collateralized positions, specifically for trading, and letting users hedge efficiently across different things.
Examples.
The article mentions things like shorting Valhalla perps while being long spot on GTE. Or maybe earning yield on Cap Money CUSD while still keeping your ETH exposure via WCM. It's about using capital in multiple ways at once.
Okay, but under-collateralized lending on-chain. How do they manage the risk for the lenders?
That's crucial, obviously. They mention tailored risk profiles for borrowers and micro liquidations, presumably meaning very fast, small liquidations to manage risk before it snowballs.
Sounds complex to get right, but the goal is clear. That TradFi a prime brokerage feel, but decentralized.
Exactly. High capital efficiency, sophisticated strategies, all on-chain.
All right, let's talk about Euphoria. The name and tagline, trading to feel something, definitely stand out. What's their angle?
It seems like they're trying to strip trading down to its more instinctive core, rebuilding the experience of trading.
How so? Is it still using serious tech underneath?
Oh yeah, the article says it's built on CLOBs, fully on-chain, just like the others we discussed. But the key is they hide all that complexity from the user.
Hide it how?
Their main thing is called tap trading. You literally just look at a chart and tap where you think the price is going next. That's it.
Seriously, just tap up or down.
Seems like it. Very simple interaction, and then they layer on gamification.
Like points and leaderboards.
Yep, streaks, points, leaderboards, making it feel more like a game, and also social, you can see what other users are doing.
So the design philosophy is just radical simplicity.
Yeah,
Make it approachable even if you don't understand order books or margin.
exactly. Abstract away the mechanics, focus on the feeling, the intuition, the social aspect. It's a very different take on what a trading platform can be.
Definitely different. Okay, last one on the list. Hop Network. Tackling VPNs.
Right. And the article sets this up by contrasting it with the problems of existing solutions.
Which are?
Well, traditional VPNs are centralized, right? You have to trust one company not to log your data, not to get hacked. There's a trust issue.
Okay. And blockchain VPNs.
The early attempts often suffered from, frankly, being too slow. Blockchain overhead made the user experience clunky.
So what's Hop doing differently? They mentioned portal networks.
Yeah, it's a different architecture. Key features seem to be, first, distributed infrastructure. It's not their servers. It's a global network of people contributing nodes.
Community powered.
Exactly. Second, a multi-hop design. Your traffic bounces through several independent nodes, which boosts privacy compared to just one hop.
Makes sense. Like Tor, maybe?
Similar concept, yeah. And third, node operators get rewarded, incentivizing participation. But critically, Hop's focus isn't just privacy. They're aiming for speed and ease of use too.
So trying to overcome those earlier blockchain VPN limitations.
Right. They want fast, smooth internet access that happens to be private and decentralized without the user needing to understand or even interact with the crypto side of things, abstracting it all away.
That theme of abstracting complexity keeps coming up.
It does. Seems key to broader adoption for many of these.
Okay, so stepping back, looking at this whole first batch from MegaMafia, what's the big picture here?
I mean, the range is pretty incredible. Stablecoins, narrative markets, comprehensive DXs, on-chain perps, leveraged finance, gamified trading, decentralized VPNs. It's ambitious stuff.
And these aren't just slightly better versions of existing things, are they?
Yeah.
Many seem genuinely novel.
A lot of them are trying new models, yeah. And the common thread is that MegaETH's performance is what supposedly unlocks these possibilities. Things that were maybe just ideas before might actually work now.
And it's not just vaporware. Testnet Live, closed beta target Q4 2025. There's tangible progress.
Definitely seems like it. And with MegaMafia 2.0 coming up, the pipeline for this kind of innovation looks set to continue.
It really does feel like MegaETH is positioning itself as the place for builders who need that raw speed but don't want to compromise on, the core DeFi principles.
That seems to be the strategy. Provide the high-performance base layer and see what builders create on top.
So let's wrap up this deep dive with a thought for you, the listener. We've seen projects here tackling finance, information, even basic internet access in new ways, all enabled by this next-gen speed. Thinking beyond just faster swaps or lower fees, what completely new kinds of on-chain interactions, what new forms of value might emerge next that we haven't even conceived of yet.